Yo, what's going on, guys? This is your boy Trillionaire Mac. Welcome back to another video. Before we get this video started, be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. I would love for you to be a part of my YouTube family. Leave a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video and hit that bell notification icon to be updated whenever I upload a new video. Back by popular demand, we're going to do a full top-down analysis. I'm going to take you guys through my process of how I do my top-down analysis on one of my favorite pairs, EURUSD. All right, so we're going to build a case study. We're going to build an idea, a trade idea on EURUSD, and then these next coming weeks, you guys will hopefully see that trade idea play out, take part of the recommendations that I have for you guys. So sit back, relax, and let's get right into it. Before we get started, I just want to let you guys know that everything that we go over within this video is going to be within my course. Super proud of it. It took me a lot of time to actually put all of these concepts together in one course in a way that you all will be able to understand these concepts and pick them up quickly. So if you are interested in the course, if you are interested in any of the information that I'm going over today, click that first link in the description. Take advantage of, even though the timer has run out, okay, we have, I want to say I created 15 more slots for the Liquidity 25, and let me know how you guys enjoy it. So how do I draw my top-down analysis? First, I'm always going to start with the monthly time frame. Why do I start with the monthly time frame? Mainly because I want to be able to understand where the higher time frame, the big boys, where their order flow volume is pushing towards. Is it pushing towards discounted pricing? Is it pushing towards premium pricing? That is my question. So as we start with the monthly time frame and we zoom in just a little bit, we can clearly see that we had a break of some type of structure here. Price had pushed into a monthly time frame interest zone here. Okay, looks like price pushed into this zone and we're starting to get that sell off. Let's see if we do trade 50% of this overall zone. So we barely missed 25% of this overall zone from this candle here. All right, sometimes that takes place. Are rejecting this area overall and starting to push to the downside. So if we look at micro structure on the monthly time frame, we can see that we had a break of structure to the upside here. Price reaching for new highs. We have a higher low here. This higher low ended up being a weak low for the main fact that we couldn't break above this region here. All right, so this created a strong high here, created a weak low here. This strong high was responsible for breaking this area here, which was just minor structure, and then we just recently had, within the past month, this full-on break of structure to the downside here. All right, so we have minor breaks internally, we have weak lows, we have strong highs. Overall, this is telling us that supply is in control and demand has literally just been taken out on the monthly time frame here. All right, you could refine your order block or your point of interest to this area here. I'm going to use this candle here for the main fact that I have something that we speak on within the course. I'm not going to go over it too much within this video, but within the liquidity videos, we discuss something that is showing up here, which is why this area right here was very important to me. So now that I understand what the monthly time frame is doing, we also had a reaction here, failed reaction. We're supposed to tap into demand and then break supply, which was resting here. We end up having a failed reaction here when price takes this out. And the last area that we actually mitigated and collected liquidity was here. So this is going to be our reaction, and then this is going to be our apex. All right, so we have a decisional here and we have an apex here on the monthly time frame. Now, I'm not going to worry too much about my apex right now. Currently, I'm just going to focus on my decisional for price to possibly continue moving to the downside, maybe even just a little bit, okay? Or we can just start to push to the upside, tap back into this area here, but I'm simply just reading the confluences that I'm seeing on price currently. If we go to the weekly time frame, we can see that we're able to break down the monthly time frame just a little more. Clearly see this weak low here, this strong high here, price is pushing to the downside. Expectational order flow is telling us that we're going to form a new lower low to push back up to form a new possible lower high within this area for us to continue to push to the downside. So we can see that price had an opportunity to actually change momentum within this area and continue pushing to the upside, but once we go to the daily time frame, especially, you guys will be able to see this. But we tapped into a daily point of interest, and price continued to push the downside, breaking lows and respecting overall highs. All right, so because of this, I am still looking for price to push to the downside. Even if it's just a little more, it doesn't matter. I will currently just be looking for sells, especially because it matches the monthly time frame, the weekly time frame as well. All right, so we have this point of interest here that we're looking at. All right, this order block, you could say. You can refine. I actually do have a couple of refinements on the daily time frame that you guys can look at, and this is also going to be free game for you guys, right? So I'm going to drop this on Sunday before the market opens, so you guys will have time to put this on your charts and things like that. But overall, we're seeing that bears can definitely come into the market, right? We're seeing the confluence. Hope you guys are as well as I'm explaining this. Now, once again, we do have a interest point up here, right? But this is on the weekly time frame. So until price actually pulls up into this region, until we break through this area here, there's really no reason for me to get, this area set just yet. All right, but we can tap into this area. We do see that we have, once again, a couple of minor breaks of structure. Here we have a minor break of structure. Here we have a minor break of structure, and then of course we have our major break of structure here. Okay, we do close on the weekly time frame below this area. All right, so we're going to see what this next week candle will do, whether we push back up into this area and then push down, or whether we start to move to the upside, again the next week, finally move into the upside the next week after that before pushing to the downside. All right, so it really just depends on what this weekly candle does. We could see a push to the upside and a push down, but with one weekly candlestick, it may not take place, which is why we're going to have patience. All right. Whenever I'm doing a top-down analysis, I'm always seeing what the monthly is doing. I'm always going to see what the weekly is doing. All right, and I'm basically going to formulate my lower time frame trades based on what the higher time frame is doing. Right. So if I want to see price trade to the upside, right, on the weekly time frame, that could take place with multiple weekly candlesticks. Okay, it definitely could take place with one, but more than likely it's going to be multiple. Do I want to see price at least tap into this area before continuing to push to the downside? Absolutely. Do we have imbalance? Absolutely. Do we have liquidity that was grabbed? Absolutely. Do we have a break of structure? Absolutely. Do we have demand that failed? Supply is being respected? Absolutely. All of these confluences are in our favor, telling us who is in control. All I'm now looking for is a valid entry and then a valid zone and then a valid entry model. All right, that's pretty much it. So far we have gone over the confluences of market structure, order blocks, imbalance, liquidity, supply and demand. We're not going to go over entry method, but I just wanted to run through all of those confluences to show you guys kind of how I do my top-down analysis. Now let's pop onto the daily time frame. Let's see what's going on. So on the daily, we can get a little more information. We can see that we did have a discount zone down here. Price finally breaks structure here within this area, so now we can forget about this range for now. Now that we're playing around over here, all right, let me go ahead and show you guys my refinements. So on the weekly time frame, okay, it was this entire area here. If we go back to the weekly, you guys can see, all right, this area here. Let me actually move this. Okay, so on the daily time frame, this is what we're looking at currently. All right, this is a point of interest, definitely for sure. This is the apex. This is another point of interest here. We definitely reacted to something within this region here. Okay, we can see a previous supply and demand flip that took place here. Sorry about that, guys. Give me 1 second. There we go. All right, so we can see that price pushed to the downside here, right? Tapped into this region, pushed back to the upside. Supply came into the market, took out the reaction, also breaking demand here, and price continued to push to the downside. So I have plenty of confluences for this area right up here. All right, we'll just have to see what price does. But on the daily time frame, I want to see price start to push to the upside, right? I want to see price possibly come back into these regions here. We could react to this region here. Okay, this would be somewhat of a minor zone. Okay, and if we measure that, that should be around 50% of our overall range. Yeah, so as we can see, this is around 50% of our overall range. So this is what I would consider minor. I wouldn't be paying too much attention to this region here, to be honest with you guys, for sells. I would love to see price trade a little higher before I actually look for sells, just to make sure that we're on the right side of things, and also so we can take advantage of, you know, a possible swing move, right? Like if we get in the trade up here, and remember guys, this was all pulled off of the monthly time frame, the weekly time frame, the daily time frame, so on and so forth, right? So let's say we get in somewhere up here within this area. More than likely our stop loss will be less than 10 pips. So let's do like, we'll say like 5.5. It would more than likely be around there, right? We could have a possible 61% trade if we get in somewhere up here with around a 5 pip stop loss. All right, and even if we just target, let's say we just target 100 pips or 150 pips, that's not too bad for a swing move, right? 27%. Okay, that is what we're looking for. Now, I do get a lot of questions about whenever I do my top-down analysis on multiple pairs, do I also correlate the top-down analysis with each other? And no, I don't. Okay, I treat each asset as its own asset. Okay, I don't correlate GU with EU or EU with AU. I don't do any of that. All right, so be sure that you guys keep that in mind when you're doing your top-down analysis. Let's go ahead and head to the H4. All right, when we look at the H4, we can definitely see why we would have some type of opportunity here, okay? Why we would have some type of opportunity here. You can refine these a little lower, but I won't refine these lower. I like using H4 levels, right? I don't really care to use M15 refine levels. I will do that if I'm intraday trading. But on EURUSD for this asset class, when I do my top-down analysis and I start on the monthly and I work my way down, I want to take advantage of the entire move that is possibly loading. Therefore, I want to take advantage of my H4 time frame for my macro zone, right? So we want to see price push to the upside overall. Now, I can't do anything until, I can't take any buys, you know, to sell until I see the H4 time frame actually transition. Okay, so I'll be waiting on that to take place. Does it have to happen right now? Absolutely not. But is price possibly setting up for that? Absolutely. All right, it looks like price could possibly be setting up for that momentum, for that change of character, for price to possibly push to the upside. All right, so we'll just keep our eyes open. Okay, now price doesn't have to. We could just continue to push to the downside. But if we start to push to the upside, you best believe I'm going to get in somewhere down here. First target, really somewhere here. We can take off partials here, but I wouldn't really be looking to take much or the majority of my position off the table until I get to this point. All right. And then of course, if we push up here, you know, I'll probably still have 20% running or something like that. So as my top-down analysis, you know, as I conclude my top-down analysis, what I want you guys to get from this basically is on the monthly time frame, we are overall bearish. All right. We understand that just based on current monthly price action. Now, you don't have to necessarily use all. This was back in 2014, right? So you could be saying, okay, price sweeps liquidity right here. We had a break of structure here. Price creates a higher high, higher low, right? The main fact that all of that takes place, right? Price creates this low here, and then what happens with this low? This low becomes a weak low, right? Because we're not able to break this high. We have a complete change of character here on the monthly time frame. We sweep liquidity here, and then we have a complete change of momentum for price to possibly push to the downside. That means that what? That means that this is a weak low. That means that this has now the opportunity to be a strong high, to come and run on these lows here and possibly tap into this area here. Does that have to happen now? Absolutely not. Are we going to see one monthly candle just drop from where price is at now? More than likely, no, we're not. Okay, could price push to the upside? Absolutely, but just based on how it's playing out now, this is my top-down analysis. So what I want you guys to get from this is pay attention to the zones that I already have marked up. All right, look for price to react at these zones that I have on the monthly time frame, weekly, daily. Okay, especially the daily, and of course H4. I'll be looking for my H4 to be my macro time frame, and then I'll be looking for another time frame to be my micro time frame in order for me to get my valid entry. all of these areas, okay, and alerts will be sent to my clients within the Telegram channel. Second link in the description if you would like to join my Telegram channel. All right, basically, you guys will know what points of interest I'm looking at, when to take entries, all of that. All right, when price is ready to exit the zone itself. All right, so with that being said, I'll catch you guys on the next video. I hope this assists you. To those individuals who did ask me for a top-down analysis, I hope this assists you. This is how I go about everything. Just remember that price knows no time frame. All right, price is just price. It's just shown differently on different time frames, but it's the same exact thing. All right, so you do what you want with that knowledge, but that is definitely a gem. And with that being said, I'll catch you guys on the next video. Thank you for all the love and support. Peace.